Tonight on the show, we're going to talk about some fermented cabbage water, and we're going to see if Adam Hrabik will drink all of it on Content Pending the Show. Josh made this up for us. It's a full mix. Welcome to Content Pending the Show with Travis and Dylan. I'm Travis.
I am Dylan.
It's a podcast that takes place in Austin, Texas at Don's Depot, Fabulous Don's Depot, on the patio. It's a nice, cool day in Austin, Texas, and we decided we're not going to move it indoors no matter what happens. We can't do a camera when it's this hot, so we're going to have to figure that out at some point. We like to have some drinks and talk to interesting people about things that have happened over the week, whenever interesting things happen in America over the week. It's been a slow couple of years. We're really lucky to have one of our favorite people in the entire world, Adam Hrabik, one of our favorite comedians in town, one of my favorite personalities, and some of the best fucking on-stage material. Like, I'll never stop just loving how far you push bits so fucking hard. And I welcome back.
Adam. Thanks for having me. Thanks for saying all that nice stuff, because as soon as you said we like to have interesting people, I was like, okay, so they didn't find anybody interesting this week.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm here.
Adam Hrabik doing his best Michael Cohen impression.
I find myself boring. I bore myself all the time. I figured out why I get bored so easily is because I'm boring in my own head. I suck to be up here with.
So you're just trying to overcompensate for that all the time?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
I think you're far from boring, sir. Man, we'll talk about Elon Musk in a bit, and we'll see how boring you can get.
Oh God.
But yeah,
I can't wait for that guy. His head looks like its own balloon, and I'm just waiting for it just inflates until it just pops. It just pops, and there's nothing but air.
He actually shared, I don't know, I'm pretty sure he did it ironically, but he actually shared a Clickhole article
really?
On Twitter.
Because he thinks he gets the joke. That's his whole thing. Is everyone is yelling at him, you suck, you're a piece of shit, and you're torturing your employees, you're an awful person. And he goes, yeah, it would be so weird if I was like an awful boss, right, guys? What a wacky world we live in.
Like fucking Petite or whatever his name is from the FCC, like thinking he's like rolling with all the punches all the time. Like, look at my huge mug. Yeah. I'm a cool boss. Yeah.
Like imagine if Andrew Carnegie thought he was Willy Wonka. Imagine if you just
cheers to that.
Six people per day get a limb ripped off in your factory, and he's just rides by in a unicycle. How we doing, folks?
Oh, it's time to sing the song. Everyone sing. Obviously, that person had some sins. Shouldn't have had so much chocolate last night. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll cover a little bit of that, because I don't know. I don't really know very much about Elon Musk. I feel like a lot gets mixed up with. I mean, he doesn't like unions, and that makes him kind of a shithead, a big shithead in my opinion. The rest of that, like, I don't know what else. Like, Jared Corkle shared the comic, this really weird straw man-y comic about how he was wearing Elon Musk in a cape, flying around talking to poor people about how only rich people were surviving the apocalypse, and like how the last three panels or whatever was Sisyphus pushing the rock up the mountain. He's like, I figured out how to make this better for you. Like, I think he basically outsourced Sisyphus's labor to get God to pay him or something. And it was like, wow, this is swinging so hard. And it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm just such a tech nerd that I'm blind to it. Oh, we can cover that later. Yeah. But Adam, what's been up, man?
Oh, not much. You
want to tell the people who maybe never heard of you who you are and what you do?
Oh, hi. I'm Adam Hrabik. I'm a comedian / want to be writer. I don't even like saying I'm a writer, because I've never been published in anything major, and I just do it for fun mostly.
Tumblr, right?
Yeah. The websites Tumblr and Medium have pay me handsomely. And I also host a podcast called Avery and Adam's Christmas Committee, the podcast. It is a year-round Christmas podcast where my friend Avery and I have funny people fun-loving people, Christmas-loving people, Christmas-hating people on, and we just talk all things Christmas and a lot of things not.
Yeah.
And we get really high and we have a fun time.
One time, it feels like forever now. Jake Rowe and his partner from We Heard It First came to our show to do our show, and then we did their show. You think around Christmas time, you and Avery can come, and we can you all be on our show, and then we can just literally hit record and do your show with our equipment?
No, that sounds like a bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that'd be awesome.
I'm sorry, I swing hard too sometimes.
No, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, especially with the way Don's is going to get for Christmas.
It is June, and there are Christmas lights that I assume never come down.
Oh,
here.
no. Yeah. Well, they asked us if we wanted to take them down, and we put them up ourselves, and we're like, no. I'm going to have to replace some of them, but whatever. No.
That happens.
This is us. This is
Well, yeah, we still have a wreath up. Yeah.
Yeah, there's still a wreath.
And it's snowman.
Yeah, there's still wooden snowman up there.
Life is snow good.
Snow
it says.
good. And our own look.
The other one just says love will keep us warm.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
was
fine.
going to say, like, our Adam Waters loves to look at that one because it just sounds like the last thing a person says before they die.
Love will keep me warm. Ooh, I'm getting warmer as we speak.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah. Oh, granddad. Yeah, I'm really excited you guys.
Wait, did your grandpa die of freezing to death?
No. It was heroin. He thought it was. No, I'm really glad you guys are doing that project because you guys are fucking nutso for Christmas.
Yeah, you are.
And you get to celebrate it as much as you want now.
I don't know why I said thanks to you. You guys are nuts for Christmas. Thank you.
Oh, you're proud of it. I mean, that's great. You know?
Yeah, we want to start doing. We do a live Christmas show every year.
Yeah.
We want to start doing them a couple times a year. Like we right now want to do Spooktacular.
Hell yeah.
The Christmas Spooktacular. Or the first Christmas show we did.
It's still Christmas themed. Okay, good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the first Christmas show we did, we called it Avery and Adam's Christmas Spooktacular.
Yeah.
And we did it in our friend's backyard.
Yeah.
So we want to do every Halloween a actual Christmas Spooktacular.
Christmas themed Halloween or Halloween. Yeah, Christmas themed Halloween party.
Yeah, or a Halloween themed Christmas party.
Yeah, sure.
We don't
sure,
know.
Sure.
We don't fucking know.
Yeah.
We're not gonna know what we're gonna do.
We'll figure it out on the board.
Yeah. It's gonna be a Christmas tree, but it's made of bats, live ones. We're gonna hang a net in front of the Congress Bridge.
There you go.
We figure after a night or two, we'll have enough bats to make a tree.
Like a lot of mini reindeer. That's it.
Yeah, sure.
We just keep them in the sun 24/7, so they think it's night the whole time.
I wonder how many pumpkins it would actually take to stack up to make a tree, in order to keep the right scale.
A few.
Probably too many.
Are you talking?
Like
so
make,
not
make
just
a, make
not
a
just
cone
a,
out of them. Yeah.
Oh, a cone. Ooh.
Yeah.
Probably looking at like 30.
Yeah. You think
Yeah.
so? I feel like you probably have to get up like 60 or 70. It's gonna be a fucking huge tree.
It depends. Are you getting the kind of tomato pumpkins, or are you getting like the big fat ones?
Your traditional big
Fat.
fat ones.
Okay,
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah.
you could do it in 25.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, how tall a tree you want?
I mean, as long as it's canonical, that's all I care about.
Okay,
You know me, that's all I care about with
if we
trees.
get like
You
a
at least-
5-foot tree, that's enough.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I
Wait,
bet
now,
that's.
hold on. You're a Christmas expert. A 5-foot tree.
Yeah, but we're talking stacking pumpkins up. If it grows out of the ground for you, you have no excuse to be below 6'5".
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're talking. You have to build it out of pumpkins. It's not a natural tree making material.
Right.
You talk to a whole lot of civil engineers. You say, "I want to build this Christmas tree," and you start with a pumpkin. They go, "Hold on." So it's not. If you get up to 5 feet, that's pretty good.
I think we could do better.
fair
but
enough,
Yeah. It's good for spitballing.
Although the width of the pumpkins might mean you have to actually make it. How wide it has to be,
That's
you're
what I
going to
was
have to
thinking,
go up. I guess I wouldn't think about that because otherwise you're going to have just a couple wide base layers and then just a stack of 3, and that won't look good. So you're probably going to have to go. Okay, you're probably going to have to get like 45 pumpkins.
See, that's
now
what I was
that I think
thinking.
about
You're
it.
getting closer to 40, 50.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, just regular pumpkins. You're not going to jack-o'-lantern these guys. I guess structurally you probably
integrity,
can't.
Yeah. We still have to make sure that structurally. Yeah.
full pumpkins, except for the one on top. That's a jack-o'-lantern with a candle in it.
It's
That's
a
the star.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh, you were ahead of me. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean like we're on the same page. Yeah. I mean we're talking about a Christmas spooktacular, of course.
What are you, fucking novices of this? What is this, your first Halloween Christmas mishmash?
During the summer you can have Christmas rodeo.
Yeah.
I mean like I just want
Oh,
you
we were gonna do Christmas in July, but by the time we got thinking about it, we were like, it's too late. Like, we spend so long planning these that we were like, okay, it's June, it's too late. We can't do it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you still have to get other people involved in it too, instead of just being like, hey, welcome to a party.
Yeah, because we don't want to just. We could like if we wanted to just do a stand-up show, we could get it together in a couple weeks.
Of course, yeah. You guys are no.
But we don't. But we don't want to do that. We want to have like a lot of fun. Not that stand-up isn't fun, but there are plenty of stand-up shows that do a really fun, good job of having just a stand-up show, and we don't. We want to do something else.
You also don't want to tell Pat Dean 2 weeks with only 2 weeks planning that he's going to play banjo without him being able to be a little bit more prepared.
Oh no, we want to tell him the day before.
Yeah, okay.
Pat Dean. Well, it's Pat Dean. I don't care about. Yeah.
It's Pat Dean.
It's Pat Dean. I wanted to let him know the morning of. You got that banjo, and his hands just automatically form into banjo hands.
I just banjo comes
brother.
out of whatever pocket that he has.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird gypsy curse. That he has. Forever banjo.
So how many years have you guys been doing the more formal show?
We've done 3.
Nice.
So I guess we started in 2015. That was the backyard show, and then we did one at the Velveeta Room, and last year we did it at Spider House Ballroom.
Yeah.
And they've all been insanely fun.
Yeah.
And they've all been weird in their own way. This most recent one, we had a couple of my friends, Alex and Roy from DSA. They set up a table and like passed out DSA information to everybody.
DSA.
Democratic Socialists of America.
Nice.
That was right during their Medicare for All and paid sick leave campaign, which a couple months ago passed. Yeah,
which is fucking
in the
great.
city council. And as soon as the state legislature reconvenes in a year and a half, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight it tooth and nail. So the hope is that by the time this gets rolling, or by the time they reconvene, the paid sick leave program will have gotten a big enough start that people will be able to go, oh, I have paid sick days now, and I like them. I'm not going to let anybody take them away from me now.
Right. Hopefully. Hopefully. I mean, people lost their shit over it. Was it Magyar? Was it Karina who said that Texas representatives meet like locusts or whatever? Like,
Yeah. Oh, they do. Yeah.
Every 16 years or whatever.
It's literally like every year and a half or so, which is insane.
How much do they get paid? How much does a state representative get paid?
A state representative gets paid $200 a year. I don't know. I think it is not enough that you could just be a state legislator, but it is also like more than I make, I imagine.
Right. I have to figure that out. Excuse me.
However much more than the amount of money it costs to get one of those gun holsters that just sticks into your stomach fat and doesn't actually have to attach to your belt. However much one of those costs. Somebody can afford that. I know that for a fact.
It's $2,100. $2,100 is how much they get paid yearly. Fat gun holster.
Fat gun holster.
Yeah.
Gun holster.
Oh, yeah. Those are probably like $20 on Amazon. Won't sell anything except for the accoutrement.
Yeah, that's the problem with Amazon. They won't sell me a gun. I can think of one thing wrong with Amazon. Is they won't ship a gun directly into my face.
I don't know why they're tiptoeing is my thing. It's like they'll do everything with tobacco-like products except for doing the tobacco thing and without guns. Just to keep a little clean? No, I'm sorry. You're the Walmart of the internet, and you're already fucking bad. Also, 2 days, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you don't want a guy who gets paid an Amazon wage bringing a gun to you.
That's a really fucking fair point. Especially if it's a drone, if they ever do the fucking drone thing. Yeah. Is that ever going to actually happen?
Probably not.
The Amazon drone?
Yeah.
Because they tried it out the one Christmas season.
Yeah.
Have they, have they done other trials? Because it's not like a regular thing.
No, I guess not. But I thought eventually it was supposed to be a regular thing where they're like, at least if you're like in a place like Austin where they're going to have like a big hub that a bunch of fucking helicopters fly to your house and drop off your Depends or whatever.
Well, I think that was
on subscription.
See, that is such an idea that is pre-Trump.
Yeah.
Because when Obama was president, there was this feeling, and it was an incorrect feeling. But it was a feeling that everything was only going to get cooler and smarter forever.
Forever.
And so, of course, you're
did
going
it,
to invite
guys.
a whirly-bird drone to drop Christmas presents off of your front door. Isn't this fucking neat? Wow. A pretty shiny drone. Can I keep it? No. All right. You got to go back to your business, Daddy. But now... now the air is different. We know what Jeff Bezos is fucking up to. We know that Amazon doesn't pay any federal fucking taxes, even though they make more money than fucking God, every version of God. So the Amazon knows that if they start sending drones to people's houses, people are gonna go, fuck this, and they're gonna grab the drone and destroy it. And they're gonna lose $100,000 in a weekend.
Yeah. In a good weekend.
Or
a fucking cool weekend.
Yeah, it's a fucking cool ass weekend.
1 second of Jeff Bezos' salary.
Yes.
The night of the long drones or whatever.
Damn. Yeah, because I was actually talking about you the other day on the show. We were talking about the because I'm not necessarily against, obviously I'm not against people going to space, but it drives me crazy that you have why does another billionaire, trillionaire, whatever have to get into the arms race in it? And it's like, isn't the point to get out there to do cool stuff?
Yeah.
Why can't you just join forces for a second? I mean, fucking
why
the Legion of Doom or whatever? You
right?
know? Like,
why are you working on your own rocket technology?
Right.
We have rocket technology that exists, and
it's
we
underfunded.
It's underfunded because you motherfuckers won't pay taxes. We can get to space. We've been to space. There's video. I've seen the video. I've seen the whole movies. We've been to space. You want to get to space? I bet if you give NASA $1 billion and ask nicely, they'll take you to space.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's because they want to do their own fucking thing in space.
Yeah, 'cause they want to be
and their
cool.
own fucking thing in space is building Elysium. Because that's the other thing is that rich people have zero imagination. That's why they're going to space in the first place. So of course they saw the movie Elysium, which was based off of Halo. Like literally, I don't know if this is true, but I have heard this, so it sounds right.
It's true.
So
on
I
the
believe
show,
it to be true.
Yeah.
You know how Peter Jackson was supposed to do the Halo movie? Okay, so they made some CGI mock-ups for the Halo movie, and they cost a lot of money. But they never made the Halo movie. So they made Elysium.
So they reused the assets.
They
Okay.
reused that.
Oh, that's fun. And it makes a lot more sense, really. Yeah. Let's take a
It
quick...
makes a lot more sense because a Halo ring habitat does not make sense.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, well, yeah, no, not at all.
And if you say it makes sense and you come at me with reason and logic, I'll fight you. My feelings don't care about your facts.
These facts don't run. Let's take a break and we'll come right back.
But what was the question?
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Segment 2 of Content Penny, the show with Travis and Dylan. Still hanging out with Adam Hrabik.
Hi.
So, Adam.
No.
Okay, well, let's take a break. We'll come back after this. Adam, can I ask you a question?
Okay.
What do you think about North Korea?
I love it. I love the mountains. I love the caves. I love the secret tunnels.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't. I'm not. I don't sign on to Juche or whatever.
Yeah.
I definitely know I definitely know why they don't trust America.
Sure.
Because it's the thing called the Korean War.
Sure.
And basically, what the North Korean regime, as we know and depict it, is similarly structured to the Soviet Union regime, as we know and depict it, because both of those regimes were working on the correct fear that the United States and the capitalist West would want to dismantle a communist power.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
What they did after that, I can't support.
Sure. You understand their origin stories, though.
Yes.
Yeah. I did read the other day that one of the main reasons why Kim Jong-il and Kim Jong-un were so upset with the states in the last 20 years or so was that Clinton, I think it was Clinton, actually set up some way for them to have hydroelectric power. There was going to be funding for it. There were plans for it. They were going to come in and help them be a little bit more self-sufficient. And everything stopped when George W. Bush came in. Shut the projects down. And at that point, they were like, you know what? Russia's right. Fuck America, which is an interesting thing because I feel like America we create our own enemies better than anyone else in the world can.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're the best at
We're
it.
the best at it.
Kind of always have.
Yeah.
It's not a new thing.
It's not a new thing at all. Fucking Al Qaeda.
Where we live used to be Mexico. It's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool though. We're pretty good at it.
Oh,
Right?
no one's better at it.
Yeah, no one's better at it.
We're
Well,
number one. USA.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, that is the true Austin hipster Texan narrative. Is wow, pretty fucking cool. All the war crimes we did, pretty fucking cool.
It's your own version of being hippies.
Atrocities, yes. Worthy of condemnation? Absolutely. Should the people who committed them be thrown in the Hague? Of course. But ain't nowhere but Texas, baby.
Right. I love war crimes so much. Thank you.
Keep Austin Ward.
Yeah. War, how are you? Yeah.
But what was the question?
No, you answered it pretty sufficiently.
Yeah.
So something, going back to your podcast, going back to your Christmas committee show.
Yes.
You and
We will be including a tribute to the Kim Jong-un and the Republic of North Korea. That will be 90% of the show.
You know that this part of Don's Depot is actually annexed to be part of North Korea because the Kims loved our show so much. So biggest
good.
fans, yeah. That's the reason the
good.
NSA is listening to it now. So, yeah. No, I was going to ask you about your show because when you guys were spitballing the idea, one of the ideas you had was at every episode, breaking from the Christmas tradition for a split second, you're going to talk about your cop of the week. Do you guys actually do that? Do you remember what I'm talking about? You're going to talk about shithead cop of the week.
Okay, here is my question to you, and this will
You were drinking at the time, yeah.
I was drinking at the time. I was probably also smoking weed at the time.
Sure.
So I don't remember bringing that up on this podcast.
Sure.
Having said that, Avery and Adam's Christmas Committee, the podcast, does have a Criminal Cop of the Week segment that we have been doing since episode 1.
Yeah.
But I completely forgot that we brought it up on here.
Well, it wasn't on the show. It was actually right after Day Drinking with Friends. We're out here on the patio. You guys were talking about.
Okay.
Avery,
So we had already recorded episodes at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
explains. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You know what? Everything makes sense now. If we could delete the last 45 minutes of this podcast.
Well, we've only done 25, so.
Okay, so if we could delete 25 minutes of this podcast.
No, 45.
And
You already
then
said.
20 minutes of the previous podcast without me that you guys did.
Oh, I'm gonna have to text Ariel right now. I'm sorry.
You don't have to let her know.
So I just put this up. You got a question from the audience.
Oh, what?
802-359-7468. I put it up on Facebook. You have questions for Adam Hrabik, please ask them. Hey guys, long-time listener, first-time texter. Can you ask Adam what his opinion of local comedian Nathan Ehrman? I wonder. That's probably Pat Dean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know who it's not. Surely it's not Nathan Urban.
No, of course not. No.
Oh, what a gem! What a delightful soul. I love doing his. I love doing Nathan's. Any show that Nathan runs, I love doing it. I wish he was still. I wish. Wait, is he? He is. Is he? Fuck. Is he still doing the Hops and Grain show, or did he give that up?
No, he gave
it up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I missed that. He made that such a fun show to do, and it was kind of crazy that he was able to make a show not just last there, but a show that was like really good.
Yeah, it was
there.
really good.
Because I remember the first time I did it. That room is not built for what do you call it? Speakers. It's very bad acoustics, and there were a lot of people in there talking. But so it made a pretty big din. But the people who were right around the stage who could actually hear the comedy show were watching and laughing and clapping and having a great time. And it was a great show. And then every other time I did it, the whole audience, the whole room was full of people looking at the stage, laughing.
Yeah.
He
did it.
He did what you have to do with a comedy show, which is don't force yourself on the audience, but be a force that the audience has to reckon with. And that's why a lot of bar shows fail, is because they just stand up and go, "Hey, we're here. Is anybody paying attention? No. All right. Well, all right." And they don't. They make the audience feel disinterested and resented at the same time. And a good show will not do that. A good show will welcome a new audience members. That's what Nathan did.
Yeah.
It was a great show when he ran it. I haven't done it since the last time I did it. He was still running it, but I'm sure it's still great because now people are just coming to watch the show.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
And he does a good job running this show, the South by Southwest show.
Yeah. He is a delight. I think we all agree there.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like vanilla ice cream. He is. Let me rephrase that. He is vanilla ice cream to a 28-year-old or older who can appreciate the flavor.
Right. It's not boring anymore. Because vanilla sex ain't that bad, really, guys. You don't have to actually.
Vanilla's good.
Vanilla's good. Yeah. You can do some fun things with vanilla.
Children don't like vanilla.
No, of course. Well, children don't know shit.
Thank you. I've been saying that for years.
Right. Their art sucks. Their opinions suck. They don't know shit about politics.
Do you guys know that children are like not as smart as us?
What a bunch of fucking idiots.
Oh, I can't say that in PC America, though. Can't say that children are dumber. That's punching down, literally, because children are beneath me, and I have to swing down to hit them.
Well, you are pretty tall, too. I mean,
Yeah.
Even really tall children just,
Yeah. The tallest child has nothing on me.
I'm going to get that on a shirt. So I was reading about your experience with U-Haul and trying to figure out what the fuck happened with that.
I call them R Hall because they love us so much, and they're such a good company.
Sure. So what happened with that?
Oh, we rented a U-Haul for 4 hours, and we had it for a total of 3.5 hours because we woke up when we were supposed to pick it up, and so we have the U-Haul for 3.5 hours. We moved from the east side of town, like the Cherrywood area.
Sure.
We moved from there to around 51st Street. We're talking not even 2 miles distance.
Yep.
And we went back and forth, I think, a total of twice.
Okay.
And in that, we also stopped at McDonald's in that time.
Sure.
To be fair.
Sure.
So the amount of actual miles we racked up was, I want to say, 10 to 11.
Right.
And I might be overshooting it.
Sure.
And they said that in 3.5 hours, we drove 256 miles, which, if you do the math, that means we got in the van and drove 85 miles an hour until we got back.
In a circle, yeah.
Yeah. And in case you're also doing the math, you can't stop to move things.
Yeah. Did it all work out? That was so weird.
We still don't know.
Okay, cool. Okay.
That's the thing about certain companies that have shitty customer service. They know they have shitty customer service, and they don't want to talk to you about it.
Yeah, you came to us, right?
Yeah, we'll call you in 3 days, which means call us after we don't call you in 3 days.
Yeah. Means go fuck yourself. Go fuck your home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys moved in together or moved to a different place?
We moved in together.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice. It just feels nice. We basically have been like staying at each other's places most nights for it's one of it. So the fear of moving in with somebody was that you hear about all the time, because I've never lived with a girlfriend before, but like what you hear is
Never?
like,
Really?
Yeah, really never.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, okay.
And I am 45 years old. So that is weird. But you hear you that's the idea is like, oh, it's a new dimension for your relationship, but it's not really for us.
Sure.
So
Sure.
it's just kind of it's just a more convenient setup at this point.
Yeah, I mean it's convenience for a lot of people, but the biggest fear is you don't have any place to hide anymore. I mean,
no, I do.
Well, sure.
I
But,
don't
like,
have.
you don't have without disturbing someone else. You don't have a bed that you can sleep in by yourself away from her. That's why it's a big step. That's why it's a new frontier when it comes to.
I mean,
obviously you're not thinking about it, so I shouldn't even bring it up. I'm sorry. Sorry to freak you out.
oh
you know?
man, oh my hiding spot! I forgot. Shit, I knew I lost something in the move.
Active shooter. We had to do those drills recently, so it's still fresh in my mind. In Taylor, Texas. Actually, it's probably safe to. But yeah, no, because I think a lot of couples go through that one moment where they're like, the only reason we haven't done this yet is because we're still just kind of nervous about it internally, subconsciously.
Oh,
So it's awesome.
See,
It's awesome you're not even thinking about that.
See,
Like,
yeah, the reason we waited so long is we were waiting on a lease to expire. That was really it for us.
Say that's fucking nice.
I mean, we've already been together for a year and a half
Yeah.
and change.
Yeah.
So it was at this point we were just like, fucking, will May get here? We're trying to move in together. We want to save money. Austin's getting expensive.
Want this lease to get up so we can go rent a U-Haul and fucking drag it down.
Drag it to Waco and back and not move a thing.
You know what'd be great? Let's go get some fucking kolaches.
Wait, which way are the kolaches? I don't know Texas that well.
Let's go fucking north. Check stop, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, it's
Right.
west, isn't it? It's West Texas.
West Texas.
West
That's the
Texas.
place that had
You
the
go north or West
fertilizer
Texas.
bomb that blew up.
That's right. Thankfully,
God.
the kolaches were unharmed.
Under Obama's watch.
Thanks,
Make sure to
Obama.
remind everyone.
I've been saying.
All right, let's take a break and we'll come right back.
Okay, folks, we are re-litigating the 2016 primary for the 9,472nd time.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Yeah.
Segment 3 of content pending.
The gerrymandered 3.
The gerrymandered 3. Now, wasn't you who was telling me about how Austin is? Because I think about how our state's laid out like that, how our representation works,
Oh, Austin's
and like Austin and Fort Worth and Dallas are part of the same, like,
Mhm.
but like only like your chunk of Austin and like some parts of Austin. Like, why is Austin's big enough? Houston's big enough? Well, whatever. I don't
No,
get it.
Austin is, Austin and most of like metropolitan Texas is split up by like feudal lords who live in hill country.
Yes.
Like
Yes,
every congressional district in Austin like spiders off to someone in Fort Worth or in San Antonio.
I believe there's one that actually goes to the border of Mexico.
God.
Really?
Yes, I'm not joking. Basically, it's like 35 all the way down 35 to the border.
It's like they had a
Ain't
glass,
nothing weird about
glass
that.
version of the map or whatever, and just threw a softball at it and said, let's do this.
Yeah, well, like I live in Northwest Austin, and basically, if I walk a block away, I'm in a different congressional district. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But my district is also the same district as College Station and some other weird nowhere land East Texas bullshit. and I've read somewhere that basically if every person in Austin actually voted Democratic, we still could not have
Doesn't work,
a
yeah.
win. Yeah, because it's so fucking gerrymandered, you can't possibly get a win.
Probably not on purpose at all. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No, we shouldn't assume anything at this point with our government.
That's
Adam Hrabik-
why we need ranked choice multi-representative per district voting system. We need to restructure that.
Sure.
Because first past the post is undemocratic, actually. It makes first past the post voting leads to two-party systems.
Yes.
Because it's basically going to be, no matter how you slice it, it's going to end up being a race between two people. And those two people are inevitably going to have like some sort of opposing ideology. That's how we get where we are right now.
Yeah.
So if we have ranked choice voting, which means that it's basically how you vote. That's how when your office is like, what soda pops do you like the best? Pick your favorite 5, and then you pick the 5 that you want, and then and then that gives you a better idea of what the district you're polling in general prefers.
Right. Right.
Because one or the other doesn't work when it's a 51-49 votes.
Right.
That's pretty undemocratic.
Yep.
When almost half the people aren't getting what they want.
All right, so I have a question for you. I've been musing on this for a second.
I have had sex before, to answer your question.
All right, I have a second question for you. I've been musing on this for a minute. Which of these systems do you think you would prefer, Adam Hrabik? One, the vice president will always be the loser's vice president. So Hillary Clinton's vice president would be Trump's vice president, like the way it used to be, I guess, except for twisted. Or third place winner is the president. Like whoever gets the third most electoral votes.
Okay, I'm trying to think how the second way would work, because everybody knows this rule.
You'd have to be nice to each other. You'd have to try to out-nice the other person, but also be
you would
a
end
little
up
worse.
voting. You would end up voting for the strongest candidate that you don't want to win.
Yes.
Because that's the best odds of getting not
Right.
If you think, okay, if there's, let's say there's 4 candidates.
Or even make it easier and just say second place. So like we
Okay.
stick with our traditional voting system.
That's a little different. Even.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
second place. So
Let's think about that for a second.
Because
like,
one of them, like, because the first instance, that's pretty straightforward. Because as we know, the vice president doesn't have a lot of power.
Right.
Yeah.
They basically only have power when the Senate has a tie.
Right.
That's the only thing they really do.
Right.
That's not mostly symbolic.
which would be functional with Mike Pence, for example, who has been kind of important to passing, like going through and like knocking ties out and doing the exact opposite of what people have wanted.
Well, that's cute, but having like the automatic other party take that spot
Yeah.
is interesting from a legislative perspective, because that way you don't always have that ace in the hole to break the tie.
Right. Right.
So you actually have to legislate.
It's a little bit
Having
more.
said that, I don't. Having said that, I
representation.
don't like the idea behind it, which is that because the winner is this party, we still need a representative from the other party, because that implies that both parties have something valuable to bring to the table, and I don't believe that the right wing of this country has anything that I care to hear about.
Sure.
Okay, but the other one, let's see.
That's a very fair point.
So basically, what's going to happen there is you're going to have a voting system where you vote for the candidate you don't want. It's going to be a negative voting system.
Right.
So the most hated candidates
Might still win.
the most
Because how do they campaign on that? How do you campaign and being like,
Well,
well, Hillary Clinton's
not
actually
gonna-
better than I am, so
that might get rid of the two-party system entirely,
Yeah.
because it's not going to be a binary choice anymore.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because you can do that in primaries.
Who do
can
you
do the main
least
election.
want to win?
Yeah.
But that also doesn't encourage anybody with good ideas, because you don't get to pick the good idea.
I mean, we
You
can't
just
change
go,
that yet.
You just go, well, the good idea is one of the ones that I'm not going to pick.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really get to pick for your ideals. You just have to pick what you don't want the most.
Right.
But 2016, yeah.
Right.
We've already done this. Yeah.
So I guess as a progressive, I have to go with the first choice.
Okay.
Because the second choice is it leads you to vote reactionarily, regardless of your politics.
Right.
But but I still don't like where the first choice comes from. But I'm going to go with the first choice.
Okay.
Because at least then people can vote for the things they want.
Yes. And representation.
And they have an unintended side effect.
Right. Oh, and like leaving out the the cynicism that we all have specifically, because like I don't really like the way the left is right now too. Our main representations for the left, like I wasn't really a fan of a lot of what Hillary Clinton was saying, but I also know that someone has to win, and reasons.
I mean, Birdie 101.
I mean, I think so too, but we're fucking crazy, I guess. Crazy for bringing it up.
Okay, folks, we are re-litigating the 2016 primary for the 9,472nd time since July 2016.
I'm just saying.
And this is the time we're going to get it right. This is the time that's going to stop all the arguments.
Isn't that a Stephen King book?
Yeah.
November whatever 2016. Yeah. I get to go back in time for this one day and have to convince everyone. Nothing. I can do nothing. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Well, that's been a segment I call Travis Muses. No, the only reason I was thinking about the second, the crazier example.
Did I take way longer on that question than you thought I would?
No, I think it was appropriate amount of time. No, because I think one of our biggest fears about Donald Trump is that it's going to unleash the floodgates for people to try to represent themselves and to politic themselves the way he's done it, which was obviously very fucking effective.
I mean, it does and it doesn't. It does in the sense that now people who have the money go, well, I could do that.
Yes.
It doesn't in the sense that most people don't have the money.
Well, yeah, sure. And there's going to be, it's a pendulum too. I mean, we're going to have people who are so upset with what's going on now. They're going to come back.
But it's also, to your point, that has been tried already repeatedly and it's failed every time.
Yes.
There have been a lot of people who try to position themselves as more Trump than Trump, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Rest in that
yeah.
one's enough.
Yeah, because more Trump than Trump is inherently disgusting, and more Trump than Trump / not Trump has no appeal whatsoever.
Actually,
because
yeah,
it turns out
the voters have said that.
It turns out that Donald Trump's the reason that Donald Trump's message was able to carry was because he didn't actually believe what he was saying.
Yeah.
If he believed what if he said what he believed, which the thing about these more Trump than Trump people is they absolutely believe what they believe.
Yeah.
And if you have somebody who really believes what Trump says, that's a hideous person who nobody wants to vote for.
That's Mike Pence.
Yeah. It's Mike Pence.
And Dick Cheney.
It's Mike. It's worse than Mike Pence because Mike Pence at least has like the family value thing going on.
Sure.
And Donald Trump doesn't have any of that.
Yeah.
More Trump than Trump is fucking Roy Moore.
Yeah.
Your best case scenario for more Trump than Trump is Roy Moore, who did almost win. We have to commend the Democratic Party for almost letting a pedophile win. That is the strength of the DNC strategy. Is you hold your hand out to a pedophile and then at the last second go whoops, and they still almost grab your hand.
Yeah.
Actually, that's probably more of an actual strategy than the DNC has proven to
Yeah, you're
execute
right.
so far. Yeah.
You're right.
That's still on a board
true.
somewhere.
That is giving them a lot of
tried
credit.
this yet. Can we
That
try
is
this?
giving them a lot of credit.
Look, we tried the cocaine and doing nothing. We tried taking money and doing whatever with it. Can we just at least do the too slow? Can we just try that out once?
Psych.
Psych.
Yeah.
2018.
Your choices are a man who will vote for absolutely everything that gives the banks what they want, which is how you, an Alabama citizen, probably got in the economic situation you are in right now.
Yeah.
Your other option is a man who will sit on top of a horse awkwardly and tell you proudly that it was okay for him to ask that young woman on a date at the mall next to the Orange Julius.
It is the best aphrodisiac. Yeah.
Or Julius was
Oh, yeah.
horses.
Or Julius.
That he had done the appropriate thing and asked her parents beforehand
Yeah, what a gentleman.
if it was okay that this 33-year-old man take your 13-year-old daughter's hand in marriage.
Yeah. From the Attorney General of Alabama's letterhead. Is it okay if I ask your daughter?
It is, in the state of Alabama, if your age is the age of your wife flipped around, you may marry her.
Old laws, man. There's so many old laws. I mean, you still can't. You still have to have a hitching post for a horse in Texas. Surely that makes sense too.
Yeah, we call ourselves libertarians here.
Let's take one more break. We'll come back and do some shots.
Yeah.
And bye-bye.
Go the next step that a comedy writer works their whole fucking life to figure out how to do, which is to write a joke.
Welcome back to the show, buddy.
Yeah.
Segment 4 of Constant Pinning with Travis and Dylan. We got some shots in front of us. Adam, what do you want to cheers today?
Let's cheers to the motherfucking
Sounds good so far.
Star Spangled Banner, the most important song that's ever been written.
As long as I'm kneeling, I'll cheers that. Actually, it's the most important song that's ever been stolen from somebody else first.
Yeah.
That's true.
Was it French before?
No, I don't know, sure, but it was actually stolen from somebody else. The words are original, but the tune was not. It's actually our national anthem is based on a copyright violation. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he definitely knew the song before he wrote the song, and if he allegedly was like in that fort during the battle, so he was just like that means he was just like rocking back and forth, going
happy place. Yeah. Some guy with a phone is like, "You want that new sound? Well, listen to this."
It's your cousin Marvin Scott Key.
Yeah, that's wonderful. All right, so what do we not cover this week we want to talk about? Something I thought was notable that we haven't actually talked about on this show, I haven't really talked that much about, was the court saying that blocking people on Twitter is unconstitutional.
For the president.
For the
So
president.
the president can't block people on Twitter, which is kind of like part of his bread and butter. I think.
Game on.
Like if he remembers anything, he probably remembers how many times he's blocked people. He probably has like a fucking like a Calvin sticker style thing on the back of his his Toyota Tercel or whatever the fuck he drives. Golden.
I mean,
Toyota
it makes
Tercel.
sense. I mean, it makes sense.
It does. This is
And I don't think. I don't know if the president has blocked. Has he blocked anybody on Twitter since he became president?
Yes.
Oh yes.
He
a
had-
lot.
oh,
Hundreds
okay.
of people.
A whole
Yeah.
lot of people. Yeah.
Weird.
Mostly journalists
Yeah.
and people who have opinions.
Well, quit being a little bitch, my guy. You're the president.
Well, the hard thing though is so his account is not set to private. Anyone can see it. That's that's what always drove me crazy about all right, so you're trying to make a stand, trying to make a point. You can't block normal people from communicating with the president. But before Obama, who was able to communicate with the president that quickly and that easily?
Yeah, nobody.
I mean, except for Sean Hannity, right, guys? But so that's a new avenue for people to be able to communicate with the president, and you can still see what he's saying. So
Yeah.
it's their ability through.
Also, it's really funny because I guarantee the courts are never going to say the president cannot switch his notifications to people you follow only.
I mean, someday, who knows? 30 years
That's all
from
he has
now?
to do. He's the most known person on Twitter, and he doesn't even know how to use the website. I guarantee his feed isn't filtered. I guarantee he a competent president in his current situation. You go to his muted feed. It's gonna say Kofifi, Ivanka, Eric, Don Jr.
Yeah. EP tapes. Yeah. Jesus Christ. That's what's so funny. That's really what's so funny about the whole QAnon thing. Is that Covfefe thing was related to it?
Was
Yeah.
it? Did they try to sew that thing together?
Well, that was like the whole idea was because the next day he was like,
Oh.
wait till people figure out what I was actually trying to say. These knuckleheads will never figure it out. My buddies over here on my side know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, What you also called your wife Melanie in a tweet, you know,
for her birthday.
for her birthday. No, when she was coming back from the hospital.
Oh, was there, okay.
And probably both. I don't know. That's the thing is we're
I
trying
like
to,
that.
we're trying
I
to find
like
examples
that
of Donald
we-
Trump fucking things up on Twitter or what he's actually said. And it's like maybe that makes sense, but we're also trying to think rationally.
I love that there are people who think that in 2018, QAnon is like a real thing.
Don't get me started.
That people fully believe that somebody inside the White House is or inside the government somehow is going on to /B or what is it?
Yeah, /B, yeah.
Okay, it is /B.
Yeah.
And just posting these coded messages.
Coded with so many quotes.
When we have like literally decades of experience of what people who are actually inside the government do when they want to leak information, which is they just go to the press.
Yeah. And not go to an anonymous forum that anyone can see.
Because we know what happens when you go to the press with things. It works.
What? That's crazy talk.
Edward Snowden is in exile, but he got out what he wanted to get out.
Right.
And
Chelsea Manning got out what she wanted to get out. Deep Throat got out what he wanted to get out.
Yeah.
And all three, they affected change.
They affected change. Yeah.
So
I mean, Chelsea Manning and Edward Snowden maybe not as much change as they would have liked. Considering that the things that they revealed are still being done.
Yeah, Snowden got some good stuff done with this NSA stuff, but not as much as he could have. But he did all right. He did okay.
For me, the toughest thing about the QAnon thing is even trying to not even just grasp the whole idea, is the PTSD that's involved in it. Because I see, like, I don't know if you saw this thing that came out this last week or whatever. It was an article. This article is from Vice, but they're talking about how there is still a bag of dirty socks in the White House press briefing room. There's just a bag of dirty socks, a plastic
those are
Ziploc. Please go pick them up, please.
No.
Yeah.
Was that when you were writing for Medium? Did you leave them there?
Yeah. I was the Medium White House press correspondent.
It's a pretty big deal.
I said
Still not a
dirty
writer,
socks
though.
with me that day. I was
No, but then literally this is the thing. It's like, and I still go back to the Terry Pratchett thing. The Terry Pratchett quote from Going Postal of a character who literally was dressed like a pirate, and everyone thought, oh, I could fuck with that guy. He'll never fool me because look how stupid he looks. Look how stupid he is. Look how stupid he is all the time. And I see this bag of dirty socks, and I think, that's a plant, right? Am I just such an optimist and I'm turning into a conspiracy theorist? that I'm thinking that surely there's a way that he got here and it wasn't just like Russian meddling. It was, we're still falling for it, you know? Dirty socks, guys. Dirty socks.
I mean, the reason QAnon exists is pretty simple, which is that people who voted for Donald Trump and expected like everything to become very right wing, which governmentally it has, but if you're a right wing person, you try to go like in the city, you are like wearing, a MAGA hat and I don't know, a white blazer with a Pepe pin on it, people will still make fun of you because you look stupid. And they think that because their guy won, they would start getting respect personally.
Right.
Because they think
really
that's
good
how
argument,
politics work.
Yeah.
Because that is how we have convinced people that politics works, because politics no longer gives anybody anything materially.
Right.
Like the right wing wants to take away from you and give to the billionaire donor class, and the left wing party also mostly wants to do that.
Yeah.
But knows that their constituency that they have to draw from doesn't want to do that, so they have to apply things culturally, which is why so much emphasis has been placed on that in the last few years. Is because that all of a sudden became a manifestation of political power in some people's minds.
Right.
And now it's pretty apparent that that's no longer true.
Yeah.
But the right wing still wants a piece of that that cultural power that the left wing got so much of in the late 2000s, from 2008 to 2016.
Right.
They don't know why they're not getting all their favorite shows on TV. They don't know. That's why when a Tim Allen sitcom got canceled, which should have been a non-story, that's why people got up in arms and they got picked up by Fox.
Yeah.
Like that.
I heard that Roseanne's going to be picked up by Fox too.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Bob's Burgers. Sorry.
But, I mean, and that's the clear thing, though, right?
We need to tell the story of Roseanne and Tim Allen in multi-camera sitcom format because
Again.
neither of those things have been done before.
Yeah. Oh. It makes me sad because it's true. Because Cubis posted this previously, and I can't actually I cannot exactly say what he said in his thing, and we'll share it or whatever. It's actually pretty important.
No, it was good. It was well written.
Yeah, but the concept is very simple. It's like within the time that Obama was around, the actual progress that we had was for identity politics and was for people who actually had real struggles. Mm-hmm. And then when people see Sam B say the word cunt about a person who may or may not definitely.
She's a cunt.
We say
I'll say it.
We'll say, oh well, she was rude, just like Roseanne was rude. It's like, no, it's not fucking being rude. It's not
the same.
It's not the fucking same. Like that's still that's an actual stigma for a fucking reason. Racism in America is still a big fucking deal.
Yeah. And even if
and
you
just
want to
calling
say
someone a cunt, like I mean, the rest of the world's like,
even if you want to say that word has the same strength through different identity barriers.
Sure,
we're still talking about a woman calling a woman a cunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what's happening with Roseanne.
No.
And
and it's also as a matter
Roseanne's reaction actually was, I think, mostly ignored. I think her reaction was more positive than I thought it was going to be. Like her freaking out,
blaming it on Ambien,
her begging ABC. No. I mean, she did, but she also she was doing that because she was begging ABC not to cancel.
All I know is
the
that we
show.
made the Ambien jokes first. You heard it here a couple weeks ago.
Of course. But Roseanne, I was amazed to see her have that much self-respect to actually literally try to fix it and apologize for it for the first time of any of these kinds of like right-sided pundit like people. Like that was kind of amazing. I mean, she's
lost her paycheck. So.
Well, I mean, she has a coffee farm. She's fine. She lives in Hawaii.
That's right. She owns half of Maui. That's
right.
True. Yeah.
that's why I'm mad.
It's fine.
That's why I'm mad that Sam B apologized.
Yes,
me too.
It was because
I'm pissed at
Roseanne
her for
apologized and got her show canceled.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you apologize or not.
Yeah.
And also, Sam B shouldn't have apologized because to these people, it doesn't matter
It makes you
if
weak.
you apologize.
Yes.
Yeah.
They didn't because they don't actually care.
Yeah.
Like, they're like people like brought up after this happened, and Donald Trump was like, "How dare he call my daughter a cunt?" And people are like, "Well, you've called this and such and such and such a cunt."
Yeah.
Like we have proof that you also have used this word.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
They don't care.
Yeah.
And they're not going to give you credit for apologizing. So don't play into their hand at all.
No, it's going to be the
I
opposite.
agree.
It's going to be the opposite. You apologize, and
If
it's like,
TBS
See,
wants,
we were right. Yeah.
it's the Streisand effect. You know,
if TBS wants to fire you, it's got nothing to do with actual morals. You should hold on to your actual morals, which told you that Ivanka Trump is a cunt.
Yes. That was clear and very present. Yes.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of people push back in the past couple days in the press saying they're different. Like the press is saying they're different.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And it's true.
They're different. I think Sam B should have waited a little bit longer at considering, but whatever.
Well, my
different, though.
thing is, well, Adam and you and I disagree. I actually kind of think your show is entertaining. I won't say funny. I'll say entertaining. How about that?
That's fine. But like as a comedy show, which Sam B is like her work on the Daily Show
She's
E
is very
TBS.
funny.
Yeah.
But the show is just this it's the same thing that John Oliver's show does. It's the same thing that the Daily Show does now, which is it just points out things.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Points
make
out-
it doesn't go the next step that a comedy writer works their whole fucking life to figure out how to do, which is to write a joke.
To actually make a joke about it,
Yeah.
Which is why I don't like Michael Shea in comparison to the new Weekend Update, really, because I feel like Michael Shea is just like, you're pointing out things and you're making jokes about them, but you're not actually making the same jokes that I grew up with a Weekend Update, where it was like, let's try to make a clever concept of it and lead into something else, because that's the way a joke should be. You should be presented with something and then land somewhere where you're like, oh, I understand why the preface was given to me in the first place. That's hilarious.
People stopped liking The Daily Show for the same reason that they liked Reno 911, and they started liking The Daily Show for the same reason they liked Sherlock, which is that it was just a show that made you feel smart because it pointed out kind of tricky things to figure out, and you're like, oh, I also kind of figured that out.
Oh, I was there the whole time. Now. Yeah. Yeah.
It just made you feel smart. It didn't actually make you laugh that much.
Yeah.
I was going to make I had 2 points. The first point was going to be that I find it ridiculous that there's even uproar about someone being mildly vulgar.
Right.
Yeah, that's
the other thing. This is 2018. The word cunt isn't that big of a fucking deal.
Right.
Unless it's like it's not a man calling. If it's a man calling a woman a cunt, I can see how that is a big deal.
Yeah, it's a much bigger difference.
like Ted Nugent.
But this is a woman calling another much more powerful woman a cunt,
And very cunty woman.
Yeah, a much more powerful woman who has done evil.
Yeah.
Who has supported an evil regime.
Yeah, and where I was going with that was if she had said, you feckless bitch, it wouldn't have even popped on her radar.
No, I don't care.
It was specifically a matter of vulgarity, not a matter of what her actual content was.
Yes. Well, it's also like, and that's why I was saying it's like timing-wise, like grasping at the straws of like, what has the left done recently? Like, well, all right, so number one, even if what Sam B is literally the worst, if Sam B was Sam B, a man, Sam B saying the word cunt to whatever, like, that would be worse, sure. But also, they're both wrong. Like, you can't just erase someone saying something fucking racist or even at best tone deaf by saying someone else was shitty. It's the same fucking joke as like every time you see some like really, really like one side Republican or one side,
but they're not about balancing morals. They want heads.
They want heads.
They want head.
They want to compare heads.
They lost a head. They want a head of ours.
That's so
and
which
speaking
honestly,
of heads,
you know what? Fine. Take Samantha Bee show. Take Samantha Bee show. I wish they had taken Bill Maher's show. I wish that,
because like I'm not a fan of Bill Maher. I don't know how he can be friends with that culture.
Not. Well, that's the other thing, is that he's not like, they're like, well, what about Bill Maher? Because they think Bill Maher is like a communist, which is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Because Bill Maher is a Republican who likes weed and some rich gay people.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah. He's an Islamophobe. He is fully racist. And he's an awful person.
Yeah.
And he's also not funny, but
not funny,
because he has the mark of a liberal person.
Yep.
Because
he disagrees.
Well, he disagrees, but also the liberal media embraces him, and anybody who the liberal media embraces, conservative people are going to go, oh, that guy, oh, fucking, he must love Chairman Mao. I bet Bill Maher goes into struggle sessions every weekend. They have no dividing line, because the media they listen to tells you that anybody to the left of Newt Gingrich is a fucking commie.
Yeah. Well, because that's easier than knowing things.
Because also... because that's an easy way for conservatives to hide the fact that a lot of left and socialist and some communist principles and policies are actually really fucking popular.
Yeah.
When you apply them individually and show them how they affect your life, people like them.
Oh, but that's scary though.
It's so scary.
Oh my god,
it's scary, and it is actually scary because
someone not doing as much work as I'm doing might actually have a good life.
It is actually in a way scary, because that is a thing that people do get attacked for. Yep. Jake Flores got DHS knocking on his door because he said he jokingly said you should murder ICE agents, which I'm not. I mean, you know what? That was a good joke. I will say that. It was a good joke.
That's definitely a joke that you would appreciate. I think you, Adam Hrabik, would appreciate more than a person like me, like thinking, I'm like collar pulling, like, ugh. I mean, this is funny, but it's also like, when DHS showed, I was like, yeah, that made sense.
It didn't make sense, though, because, like, what does Alex Jones tell people to do? Like,
of course. Or how many pedophiles do they know that they aren't going after because they're seeing them and they're like, I don't know, let's go after Jake fucking Flores.
Or okay, even like, what did Phil Donahue get fired for? For saying the Iraq War, maybe we shouldn't get into that. Like that kind of shit will actually cost you your job.
Yeah,
that kind of shit is actual free speech threats.
Times were different back then.
Yeah.
If ABC doesn't want you calling people apes, that's their right.
Yeah.
They're not the Ape Broadcasting Network. They don't have to respect your ape opinions of who is or is not.
And see.
They're not.
That's a perfect place.
If they want to fire you for being racist, they're allowed. Guess what?
The Ape Broadcasting Network. Woof. All right. So, Adam, thanks for coming and hanging out with us on the show. Where are you going to be? What do you want to plug? Where can we find you online?
Please listen to Avery and Adam's Christmas Committee, the podcast. We're on iTunes. We're on. I don't know. I don't know if we're on Stitcher or anything because I don't know if we have to do anything extra to be on that. I guess we can look into it.
You do, yeah.
Okay, but
I can help you with that. Are you Google Play too?
I mean, we don't produce our podcast ourselves.
Okay.
We are running through the Body Tape International network.
Sure.
So I guess we will talk to them. However they do it, whatever platforms they put their podcasts on, we're on those.
Okay.
They're so helpful. I love working with them.
Here's the thing too: when you're doing promotions, because we found this out recently, if you're part of the iTunes network, you can probably tell any of the smart speakers, Amazon Echo, Google Home, any other versions of it, to just say, "Hey, play podcast." Adam, or is it Avery and Adam, or Adam and Avery first?
Play podcast Avery and Adam's Christmas Committee, the podcast,
and it will literally just find it and play it.
You're listening to us now. You dummies.
You son of a bitch.
You idiots. But we those do come out every Thursday, except for the last 2 weeks when we have fucked up.
Okay.
You guys put a podcast out every week. That's difficult. We did it 5 weeks in a row, and then we hit a snag, and the next week we hit another snag. So we haven't put one out for 2 weeks.
Sure.
But we're gonna have one out this week. I'm going to make sure.
Okay.
But so
for the record, like 300 episodes later, we still fuck up all the time.
Of course, yeah.
no, you guys don't fuck up.
Yeah, we do.
You guys have perfect shows all the time.
Oh man, that's so sweet.
Including the
Only
ones
when
where
you're on.
Including the ones where you have to edit out half of the things I say.
Only 45 minutes apparently. Only the first. No one's gonna understand what the hell's going on.
And
we've
we've run over, so we're
that's true.
Now
That
we're
is
short.
true.
We don't have a video anymore. Yeah, that's right. We're finally short. Oh, for the first time.
Wow. You're welcome.
Where can you find that? Where can you find that online?
We are on Twitter, twitter.com/thechristmaspod, thechristmaspod@gmail.com. You can Facebook search Avery and Adam's Christmas Committee. And that's it for the Christmas. That's all the places online we are.
So where do we find you?
Twitter.com/Hrabik, AHRABIK. I have a Medium page. You don't have to look at it. But that's it.
Okay.
We do. If you have Christmas questions, please email thechristmaspod@gmail.com because we do a segment called Christmas Advice, where mostly I just look up old advice columns that have to do with Christmas, and then Avery and I and our guest will answer the questions, and I guarantee our answers are a lot better than some haggard old advice column writer who wants to tell you how his Christmas is going to be so much better than yours because he has Christian morals. We don't deal with that in our show. We're going to give you honest answers. So we're going to give you moral answers.
One last question for you. What is the must-have at a Christmas dinner? What side or dish is must-have? If it's not there, it's not Christmas.
Oh, God. That is a good question.
Cliffhanger.
You know what feels really Christmassy is a twice baked potato.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
A little
Interesting.
I
paprika on
have
top.
never heard of that at Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it because it can't be wrong. There's no wrong answers when it comes
That
to
is,
Christmas.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that is correct.
Except for there has to be a star at the top.
There are a bunch of wrong answers. There are some wrong. There are some wrong answers that are like, my grandma died. Do
No.
do I
Little Kris Kringle can't be wrong.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So there will be there will be questions that are like, do I have to give my brother something for Christmas because he's only 13? Like just weird questions. They're like, yes, stupid.
Yes.
You have to give your brother something for Christmas.
Yeah, no, it's a forever thing. Adam, thanks for coming and hanging out with
Thanks
me.
for having me.
Of course, every time. You're always a fucking pleasure. Dylan, thanks for coming. Thanks for helping me run the show. If you like the show, you want to know more about the show, you can go to contentpending.com. That's contentpending.com. You can see this episodes of shows that we've done in the past, maybe some new shows we're going to do in the future as they fit. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us at Google Play Store. You can find us at Stitcher Store. I also found out today, aside from, like I said to Adam, also, if you don't have a smart speaker and maybe you have Plex has a podcast feature now.
That's brand new, yeah.
You can subscribe to our podcast on Plex, which is fucking neat. But it's still really cool. Like if you're like getting ready for work, whatever,
Alexa.
washing your hair, and you're like, hey Alexa, play Content Pending the show, and Alexa's like, fuck yeah, man, I've been listening to all of them. You know, like I don't know why Alexa is.
She's cool.
Why is she so cool, man? I can't wait for robots.
Oh, you think Alexa's gonna talk to me?
Right. I hope Alexa calls the show sometime on 802-359-7468. That's 802.
Alexa, call 802. What's our number?
802-359-7468 or
Alexa, call 802-359. I forget the rest
Shots.
of it. Shots.
yeah, shot the shot.
okay.
line. Yeah, leave a voicemail or a text and we'll answer your question. Like we did with that random person earlier, whoever that might have been.
Pat Dean.
Always Pat Dean. He loves our show. Honestly, it's getting creepy. You can find us on Facebook at Content Pending the Show. You can find us on Twitter at Content Pending. You can find us all over the internet. You can find anything you like all the time. Thanks to Jeff Bezos. We can do anything we can with you. Questions at contentpending.com if you have questions there. Also, Instagram's still contentpending.com, spelled out DOTCOM because of that one woman, whatever. But we're everywhere. Come enjoy the spirit and the flavor of Count Chocula with us. And I'm Travis, and we love you so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
It should have been just Sam Neill on his farm hanging out with his pigs.
Yeah.
That would have been a better movie.
Agreed.
Content pending.